Hello, this is the team update at the end of round 4. It's early on St. Patrick's Day morning. Why not do a video about Fumble, Blood Bowl even. Okay, we'll go through the teams in the reverse order of their standing in the league. So first up, it is the Thaurissian Thunderers. Still with 1 point. Their game this round against the SC Lothern was a 3-0 loss, but they managed to pick up quite a few pieces of SPP. They finally got sure hands on a Hobgoblin, Barry Scott, and a new Hobgoblin to the side, Geordie LaForge. So after some really difficult early games, Shaun's side really seems to be building a bit of momentum. The match wasn't helped by pouring rain, since that already exaggerated the difficulties that Hobgoblins have with what Chaos Dwarf sides have with handling. But it would be rated as one of Shaun's better games, I would imagine, because he managed to actually gain quite a bit from the game. In 5th place with 4 points, it's Ben's Spikey's Blue Bits Skaven. They had the shock result of the round with a 3-1 loss to Average Tom's Gym. Unfortunately, all Ben picked up from that game was Strip Ball on Stamper, and he's also picked up an injury, a niggling injury on Stabber, which means he will be unavailable for his last game. I should have said Shaun's last game, the Thaurissian Thunderers' last game, is against the Stochastic Slashers. So we'll talk about that when we see them. Ben's last game is against SC Lothern, the High Elf side. Still, in Ben's side, it's enjoyed mixed success, but if he manages to, depending on how the games go in the last round, if he scores a win, then he can potentially get all the way up to 2nd place. So, in 4th place with 6, sort of joint 3rd, but by touchdown different, but by differences it's 4th place, is SC Lothern, Jack's High Elf side. Jack's side had a good 3-0 win, but did pick up an important injury, -1 AV on Iron Lizard, the Blodger, which means he'll be unavailable for his last game of the season against Ben's Spikey's Blue Bits. Ben's team still lacks any tackle and is very low on block, so a Blodger would have been particularly powerful. So for him to be out is quite a blow for Jack. But he has picked up his other blitzer, Pathvulcan, who'd done nothing so far this season, has scored 3 touchdowns in 1 round, and that's given him tackle. So he's got a way of stopping Ben's gutter runners. I should say gutter runner, because only one of them's really done much, and that's Squirt, the movement 10 Blodger. So Jack's finally got a solution to that with one of his speedier players having tackle. The match between those two should be really interesting. Its result can swing that person potentially from 5th all the way into 2nd, depending on what happens. And it's just going to be interesting to see the 2 least bashy teams finally meet. In 3rd place by casualty difference is Average Tom's Gym, Dan's side. Dan, unfortunately, only managed to pick up 1 upgrade from his 3-1 win, which was block on Nathan Bunt, but he's out of the game with -1 movement, so he has to play Egyptian Disco, a player down, a player with block. I should have said in the last round he picked up 2 new Marauders. I think it's going to be I'll talk about Alec after we've done the Egyptian Disco side, their matchup. But I would say Dan played by far his best game of the league, and probably one of the best games I've seen him play when he beat Ben 3-1. That could be that was probably the biggest. That's probably been the biggest surprise of the league so far. So, which is not intended as dismissive of Dan. It's he's playing the tier 3 team against a tier 1 team. I think everyone, almost everyone, had settled for Ben to win that one, so it was a big surprise. And in second place, with 7 points, so 1 point ahead of the previous two teams, it's Matt's Stochastic Slashers. Matt had the biggest developmental boom of any team so far. Trigonometry, his Snow Troll, got Mighty Blow. Archimedes, a linesman, was given Kickoff Return. Gauss, a linesman, was given Strip Ball. Euler was given Guard. And he bought himself a Berserker. So that is 4 skills and 1 elite new player in one round. It just shows how, with the way that Matt's been having a lot of linesmen, he's had a lot of SPP spread throughout the team. And finally, that game, his match against Alec was a 2-all draw, one of the best games of Blood Bowl that I've seen through its drama. Finally, just everything clicked with Matt's side, and he's gone from one of the weakest developmental sides into arguably the strongest. The fact that he already has block on all his linesmen has allowed him to take some really interesting skills as well. Kickoff Return. And Matt's last game of the round will be against Matt's. Oh, don't do these in the morning. Matt's last game will be against Shaun's Thaurissian Thunderers. So he'll be coming up against another side that has a lot of block. Shaun will be looking to build on his end points. Just now his team's starting to tick together a bit more. But Matt will be looking to use all those new skills, which will probably give him the edge, as his side has had just a massive developmental boost in that penultimate game. And the team still in first position with 10 points is Egyptian Disco, Alec's Khemri side. Not as big a building going for them this time with their 2-2 draw against the Norse. They've got Dodge on their plus Agility Throw Ra, which is an interesting choice. It gives him a bit more defense, and it widens up Alec's options. You don't expect Khemri to dodge, so people don't often cater to stop it. By having that there, it's definitely going to cause people to have some new headaches playing him. Alec's last game is against Average Tom's Gym, so that just means one more player who will be difficult for them to block, since no one in Average Tom's Gym has tackle. It's going to be a really tough matchup for Dan. His side's starting to build, but Alex is so established, and I think Alec has a very solid idea of how to play Khemri. Looking at the league, if Alec gets a draw, he's won. If he gets a win, he's absolutely won. It's only a loss, and then a very large win by Matt can mean that Alec won't end the league in first position. But that's only first position on league points. That's not necessarily counting up everything, although league points will make up half of your actual score. So, and it will, at the very least, it will win best tactics coach, because he's won the league, but not the whole cup. Right, there we go. That is the update before the final round. We'll probably have a look at the teams nice and quickly when we finish, because I would like to see these teams come back in the future. And obviously, the more developed they are and the less damaged, the more chance we've got of that. Have a nice St. Patrick's Day.